Allison Montoya.
Hello everyone, I am Rochelle Sellet and we're here today to present to you our Growth Mindset Project for Education 590.
I'm sure many of you have heard the word or phrase, have a growth mindset. Growth mindset is a concept pioneered by psychologist Carol Dweck that suggests the ability to learn can be cultivated. Growth mindset is an idea that is beginning to gain a lot of favor in educational circles at the moment. It is the notion of fixed versus growth mindset. How growth mindset might relate to students and learning as well. Based on the work of Stanford University psychologist Carol Dweck, the idea of mindset is related to our understanding of where ability comes from. It has recently been seized upon by educators as a tool to explore our knowledge of student achievement and ways that such achievement might be improved. Dweck places this concept in opposition to a fixed mindset, which perceives an individual's intellectual capacities as unchangeable. Growth mindset has become a wildly popular idea in the contemporary American education, from the walls of elementary school classrooms to the core of undergraduate curricula. Now, many of you guys have heard what growth mindset is and understand what that is now, but what is the difference between having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset? And does it really change the way students perceive their self-worth? Well, a fixed mindset is where students believe their skills, talents, and overall intelligence are fixed traits. They may resist learning and trying to improve, typically feeling embarrassed when not understanding something.
Now, one of our guiding questions is also, how do you shift the minds of students to develop a growth mindset? And that's very easy. It's through encouragement and many strategies. A growth mindset among students is likely to encourage them to develop feelings of empowerment. Students begin to see how they might take action to positively influence their community and their own learning. We really have to send the right messages that taking on a challenge task is admirable, sticking to something and trying many strategies. Struggling means you're committed to something and are willing to work hard. Parents around the dinner table and teachers in the classroom should ask, who had a fabulous struggle today? How do you shift the minds of older teachers to develop a growth mindset when they are reluctant to change? Well, first, it's to create a space for new ideas. Second, schools should provide opportunities for teachers to try new things and make mistakes. This can seem daunting for teachers, but is essential for developing a growth mindset. After all, one of the key principles of such a mindset is the willingness to try new approaches. As part of creating the space, it is important to begin with the learning in mind. That is, what will the teachers and the school learn as part of the process, rather than whether the new idea is going to be a success or a failure. Lastly, teacher performance management processes can often be quite awkward and distressing experiences. However, by viewing the process as part of a growth mindset, that is, making it formative rather than summative and inviting participation of the teacher in the process, the feedback can be more meaningful and applicable to the teacher's daily practice. And one of the additional challenges of getting a growth mindset is how do we get our parents on board to transferring the growth mindset to home? If parents want to give their children a gift, the best thing they can do is to teach their children to love challenges, but be intrigued by mistakes, enjoy effort, and keep on learning. Carol Dweck.
Having daily learning discussions at dinner, in the car, or at bedtime. It's time for both kids and parents to share the answers to these types of questions. What did you learn today? I love this so much better than, how was your day? What mistakes did you make that taught you something? What did you try hard at today? Does developing a growth mindset increase academic performance and decrease behavioral problems? Students with a growth mindset were more motivated to learn and exert effort and outperform those with a fixed mindset in math, a gap that continued to increase over a period of time. This is our activity. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Zig Ziglar. Self-exploration. If it is not clear already, our current mindset influences how we shape our future moving forward. If we have a fixed mindset, chances are likely that we will be stuck in the same position we are in right now. So, one thing that we can do to change is doing some growth mindset activities that encourage us to change. One such activity is self-exploration, meaning diving into your mindset and start making changes to that mindset. To help with that, I suggest watching the video Long Generation on YouTube. The idea of the discussion is to touch on how the future changes based on the attitude we adopt today. You want to end this experiment with the question, what happens when we change our mindset? If you can't do this in a group or with someone else, you can gain some benefit by asking about how you felt about the video. You will see the YouTube video and copy that link, please.
Hello, my name is Allison Montoya, and I am here with my administrator, Mr. Watari.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Watari, and I am the assistant principal at Macy Intermediate. Go Macy Knights.
Yes, go Macy Knights. Thank you, Mr. Watari. I really feel so appreciative of you joining me and doing this interview. All right, so let's get started. I am interviewing Mr. Watari on the hot topic of growth mindset. So, Mr. Watari, in what ways does our school promote a growth mindset?
This is a great question. You know, from the very beginning of the school year, we always want to promote a growth mindset. And as we were discussing, you and I have been at the school for about 2 years now. And even before we were there, our principal, Mrs. Matsumoto, has already embedded into our staff this whole mantra of having this growth mindset with our students. You know, we want to make sure our teachers are explaining to them that there is a goal and they might not get it right away, but that is why we are here, and we want to improve and make sure that they are understanding it, and they will always get to that final goal. You know, it's okay to struggle. We all struggle with everything, and we want to make sure that we let them know that struggling is part of life, and that sometimes it just happens, but we will get to that final solution.
Awesome, thank you. How do we get parents on board?
We are very fortunate in our community to have a really good set of parents, and they're just tireless, and they're very committed to making sure that their students have what is best. So they have their best interest in mind. And, you know, we want to try to get them away from that fixed mindset where they say that, you know, my student can't do that, or I only want this amount, or they can only go so far. And we want to just make sure that we open up their minds. We want to make sure we set some goals for them and let them know that we're not just doing it for our students, but for themselves as well. We want to make sure that the lines of communication are always open. I think that's the most important thing. And we're constantly just keeping them updated with what's going on at school and functions in the classroom.
Awesome, and I agree with you. We definitely have a great community of parents.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Does developing a growth mindset increase academic performance and decrease behavioral problems?
Absolutely. You know, this year, because of this whole virtual pandemic, we've been able to create our intervention classes, and that in itself has really brought down the anxiety level of some of those kids who are really struggling. We want to make sure that those inconsistencies that those kids were having through virtual learning are really brought to the forefront, and we meet their needs. And so these intervention classes are really helping those students out. We want to make sure we tell them that it's okay to go slow, and that it might take some time for you to understand certain topics or the Common Core standards. But that's why we're here, that's why you're in these certain classes. But we also want to make sure that they're also where the big procedures are just natural. You know, that sometimes it goes wrong, and sometimes it just takes maybe a little bit longer for you to learn something or become just interested in something. Our principal, Ms. Matsumoto, brought up the power of yes. I really like this whole saying that it's just a realization of that sometimes things are just worth waiting for. So you might not understand it yet, but down the line you're going to get it. It really was inspiring to me, thinking that, that's a really good mantra for the whole school, that, it is difficult right now, yet you will get to it and you're going to understand it later on down the line. It's all about success, and that's what we want for our students.
Excellent. All right, last question. As
All
an
right.
administrator, how do you handle the school climate in regards to a growth mindset? How do you get everyone's buy-in?
Yeah, this is a great question, and this one is a hard one. We want to make sure all of our teachers have the right mindset for our students. And it's going along the lines of our parents. We just want to make sure everyone is kept in the loop. We definitely want to listen to their concerns. We want to listen to what they might be thinking might be good for them and for their students. And we have to message the staff all the time, letting them know that this is what we're thinking, how we're feeling, what the kind of climate of the school is. We want to make sure that we're building a positive culture. We listen to their needs all the time, and we are very present, not only visible outside, but also in the classroom, and just through data, looking at data. We want to make sure that we are aware of what's going on in the classroom and how we can help them also, be a great teacher, be a success for me.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Throughout our presentation, this is a list of references that we use in order to gain information about the growth mindset. Thank you very much for watching our presentation and have a wonderful day.